What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97 and welcome back to my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. We're coming off one heck of a WrestleMania pay-per-view. I hope you all enjoyed the pay-per-view, and if for some reason you're new to my channel, just, you saw WWE Draft, you're like, hey, this looks cool, and you didn't see WrestleMania, well, make sure you go check out WrestleMania, because this video is going to have spoilers and everything. You don't want to have that happen, but, yeah, that's your spoiler warning. Back to the video. So tonight is the WWE Draft, at least the Raw portion. There will be on SmackDown the continuation of the WWE Draft, but for now, tonight we've got 4 draft matches where Raw superstars and, in that case, divas, will be competing against one another to determine draft picks for each respective show. So as you can see, one of the matchups we have to showcase tonight is the former WWE Champion, The Rock, taking on the former World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry. Dean Ambrose of The Shield goes one-on-one with the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And for our regularly scheduled matches for the night, Paige will go one-on-one with Nikki Bella. And in the main event, the new United States Champion, Cesaro, will take on R-Truth and Alberto Del Rio in a triple threat matchup. That's right, we're playing through the entire match card this episode. It's a big deal around here, this WWE Draft is. So, of course, we're in Boston, Massachusetts, so we're going to kick it off with the hometown kid, even though he's from West Newbury. It's Boston, both in Massachusetts, so what a better way. That was actually just pure coincidence that we're in Massachusetts, but regardless, we're kicking off this episode with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Super Cena of the... I was going to say Superman of the WWE, Super Cena, John Cena. And honestly, I didn't realize this till just a few weeks ago when I was recording this. This is the first time we've ever had John Cena versus Randy Orton, if I recall correctly. Now that I think about it, maybe there was a match on main event, although I highly doubt it. I'm pretty certain that this is the first time these two have ever faced off here in Universe Mode. But I can guarantee this is the first time Randy Orton has made an appearance on Monday Night Raw. Considering he's a part of the SmackDown roster, he has never once made an appearance on an episode of Raw. Until tonight, that is, as Orton gets to make his Raw debut here in the series against none other than John Cena, his arch nemesis. So this is a great way to kick off the WWE Draft, as we can see 2 of WWE's best over the past decade squaring off right here in the ring to kick off Monday Night Raw in John Cena's kind of hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. And of course, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed the WrestleMania pay-per-view. I had a really fun time making that video. I had a fun time providing commentary, and I'm loving the feedback that I'm getting on that video. All the comments really is appreciated, and I assume that it's only going to get bigger from there, considering it's WrestleMania. It is a huge deal in terms of my channel, in terms of the Universe Mode series. So I think the feedback is only just going to keep going from there. WrestleMania, it's going to be picking up views and comments and all that good stuff, all the feedback for a while to come, because it's one of the biggest attractions on my channel. It's one of the biggest uploads I've ever made, the biggest video in my opinion. So really looking forward to that. Also, GM Mode's been doing really well in terms of feedback, and I assume the WWE Draft is going to follow suit. Slammy Awards also have been doing very well, the nominations video. So I do want to thank you all for your support over the past few weeks, over the past month, and of course over the past almost 3 years up to this point. It's been a really fun journey, and hopefully now that we've hit 3,000 subscribers, I know that's just amazing. So I don't really have a 3,000 subscriber special, but considering how awesome this month is in terms of, well, month, maybe a little over months, maybe like the span of 5-6 weeks or so, but I mean, look at this. We've got the Slammy Award nominees, we've got the WWE Draft, WrestleMania. This is just a huge time for my channel. There's a lot going on. So I do want to thank you all for your support. Hope you're enjoying the month, or 6 weeks, whatever the heck this span is going to be. That can kind of be sort of like the 3,000 subscribers consolation for that. I mean, I'm providing all these epic videos, epic Universe Mode, Career Mode finale, all that good stuff. But now let's take a look at the match at hand, as we have already seen John Cena hit that half Nelson neck breaker, but Orton, he did kick out. And now look at Orton perhaps going on the offensive here with a nice neck breaker right there, dropping John Cena down on the back of his head. And of course, Orton, if he wants to succeed in this matchup, he's going to want to keep it a slow, methodical pace. That's where Randy Orton thrives. That's why they call him the Apex Predator, the Viper. He thrives on the agony of his opponents, and he just has that slow, slithering, snake-like style. Try saying that 5 times fast. Whereas John Cena, he's not really much of a fast-paced superstar either, but he would definitely survive. He would have a better chance if he did keep it a more power-based sort of a match. Try to keep the pace perhaps a little bit faster. Try to, not allow Orton to get into his element. As we can see, John Cena with a nice kick. We've got DDT right there, planting Orton face first into the mat. And John Cena perhaps going for that half Nelson neck breaker yet again. And he hits it right there. Randy Orton went for a ride. That's certainly a ride he does not want to take twice. He's already taken it twice. But we know what this sets up. We'll see he's going to go for the cover. Could actually have him off that 2 count. And no! Randy Orton kicks out at the absolute last second. That was like 2 and 15/16. But as we know, John Cena, that half Nelson neckbreaker, going to set Orton up for the attitude adjustment. He's got him up here. But wait, Orton counters. Orton counters with a reverse DDT. Beautiful counter right there from Randy Orton. As now he's waiting for Cena to get to his feet as Cena bounces off the ropes. Orton thinking something, but Cena had a counter for that. He had it well scouted. And now John Cena, what's he going to do here? Pulls him back into a hip toss right there. John Cena yet again going to go for the cover. 1, 2, no. Kick out by Randy. And now John Cena, he's got Randy Orton right where he wants him. Cena's in firm control of the matchup at the moment, and he's looking to finish Orton off. This time, can he hit the attitude adjustment? He's got him up, and he's got him down. Cover by Cena, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That is a victory for Monday Night Raw, here to kick off the WWE Draft. John Cena representing his brand successfully. And Orton, this is his first appearance on Monday Night Raw, and it definitely was not a successful one. Perhaps, though, we might see Randy Orton get drafted to Raw later on tonight, perhaps even right here. That's just how this WWE Draft works. If you lose, you can find yourself working for the other brand. And that's what makes this WWE Draft so epic. You never know what can happen. It's completely unpredictable. Nobody is safe here in the WWE Draft. Not even champions are safe from the draft. Anything goes. Anyone can go anywhere. So the question is, who's going first? Who is going to be the first pick here in the WWE Draft? Oh my goodness! The Rated R superstar Edge has been drafted to Monday Night Raw. That is a huge first pickup for the Raw brand. One of SmackDown's hottest superstars at the moment, Edge, has just been brought here to Monday Night Raw. Well, that's groundbreaking. That's a huge first draft pick. Monday Night Raw not pulling any punches with this first selection. And of course, it is all done at random. So I have to say, the luck was definitely on Raw's side with that pick. I mean, they could have gotten somebody like a Heath Slater or Santino Marella, but no. Right off the bat, they get the Rated R superstar. So it's going to be interesting to see how Edge fits into this whole Monday Night Raw roster. And that's, of course, what happens with this WWE Draft. So not only do the brands get mixed up, but, I mean, the superstars, they're going to have to adapt to a whole new slew of superstars added to the roster. And, of course, while some of their old rivals may get pulled to a new brand, they're gonna have all new opponents they've never faced before. They're gonna have to change up their game plan, change up their strategy. Although that doesn't necessarily apply to the Divas, considering the games never have enough Divas, so there's not really enough for a brand split. But we do see some of these Divas competing on, more so competing on a certain specific show. I know Summer Rae lately has been kind of floating about, but Brie Bella, she's been doing the same. But I mean, some of the Divas, like Natalya, she's been more on SmackDown. Nikki Bella, she's kind of been on Raw. I mean, the Funkadactyls as well kind of been on Raw. So, sometimes you can't really call it a home for them, but it's just kind of been, they've just happened to be competing on those shows a bit more often. There really is no brand split. However, Summer Rae, in terms of, they got to be somewhere on the roster. They got to be categorized under a certain roster. They can't just be floating in space. So Summer Rae representing SmackDown here for this one. Brie Bella representing Raw, just in case you weren't aware. And, the same goes for the tag teams. I mean, obviously they're going to be on a certain show, but they can't just be floating in space. They may compete on both shows, but they need to be on a certain roster because, say, what if the tag team champions lose those titles? Well, then they can't go on either show. And although for the Divas it's not quite that way, you can't just have somebody a free agent competing on your shows. It's not how wrestling works. At the moment, we can see Summer Rae off that nice backbreaker, going to go for the cover on Brie. Not even the 2 count. Brie kicks out. And of course, these two did face off last night at WrestleMania for the Divas Championship. They have faced off now twice against each other. Yet in both of those confrontations, Brie Bella came out the victor. One of them being, of course, the triple threat at Elimination Chamber, and then last night at WrestleMania. So, I'd say there's got to be a lot of doubt in Summer Rae's mind if she can actually defeat Brie Bella here tonight. I mean, you'd have to think that Summer Rae with a victory here, I wouldn't guarantee her a number one contender's opportunity. I wouldn't call her the number one contender. Oh, wait, cover by Brie, kick out by Summer Rae. Because, Summer Rae's already had she lost at Elimination Chamber. She had her rematch clause, and she lost. So I feel like even if she scores a win over the Divas Champion, she's going to have to do a little bit more to prove herself worthy of another rematch for the title. And as we can see here, Summer Rae with a nice, beautiful forearm right to the face of Brie Bella. As Summer Rae now, she's picking Brie Bella up, but Brie there, right with a nice counter knee, right to the gut of Summer Rae. And now here's Summer Rae with a nice counter into a side Russian leg sweep. And that's going to take down Brie Bella. And I did say this in the WrestleMania video, but I do want to apologize if the upload rate over the next week or two is a bit less than what it has been recently. But I mean, thinking about it, we have 2 WWE Draft episodes, which are weight cover. Kick out by Summer Rae. That was a close call there. But we have 2 WWE Draft episodes, which are going to be both close to about around 40 minutes or so. So that's going to take a lot of work, just in terms of commentating. It's one thing to be able to commentate for like a 15-20 minute video, and it's a whole nother thing to have 40 minutes of free time as opposed to 20 minutes to be able to get that video done, especially at the time of the year it is right now. Wait a minute, Summer Rae! Summer Rae with a kick right to the face of Brie Bella, and that could do it. Summer Rae may have just knocked off the Divas Champion right there. Cover. 1, 2, 3. No! Kick out by Brie Bella. Somehow Brie Bella just kicked out of Summer Rae's finisher, stays alive in this matchup. You can see Summer Rae's furious right now, just unleashing a flurry of strikes against Brie Bella there. But now it's Brie who catches Summer Rae off guard. Northern Lights suplex, cover again, kick out again by Summer Rae. But that's definitely got to put huge doubt added on to, the amount of doubt Summer Rae already had in her head, because now Brie Bella has kicked out of Summer Rae's best move, her finishing maneuver. What is it going to take to put Brie Bella away here? But Brie Bella, she's locking in that single leg Boston Crab. And Summer Rae, imagine this, the humiliation of tapping out the night after you lost your rematch against this woman right here. But no, luckily enough for Summer Rae, she was able to get out of that one, just able to slip out of that Boston Crab. But Brie Bella going to try to go for the pin, kick out by Summer again. And of course, at this point in the WWE Draft, wait a minute, cover, and not a cover. Oh, look at that maneuver right there. Bella Buster from Brie. Yeah, I'm stumbling over my words now. But Brie Bella hits the Bella Buster. 1, 2, 3. Good night, Summer Rae. Brie Bella has scored the win for herself and for Monday Night Raw. So that is yet another Raw victory here in the WWE Draft. And in these early stages of the draft, it is all Monday Night Raw. SmackDown is not looking too hot. I mean, that's been 2 losses now to Raw. They're really going to need to come back after this. But the question is, after getting such a huge selection first time around where they managed to pick up Edge, who is Monday Night Raw going to get with their second pick? That's what I know right now.
Who is going to be the second superstar making the switch over to Raw? Well, we're about to find out.
Oh my goodness. The world's largest athlete, The Big Show, is on his way over to Monday Night Raw. Big Show, one of the few superstars who defeat the former Intercontinental Champion Ryback in singles competition. One of the very few men who was actually able to beat Ryback in a one-on-one matchup has now been brought over to Raw. So that's yet another big selection there for Monday Night. Really starting to lose some of its talent. SmackDown really needs a comeback here. Especially, I mean, we've only got 2 more draft matches for this episode, so SmackDown's really going to have to turn things around here. And now making his way down to the ring is the world's strongest man, the former World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry. And he's going to go one-on-one with the Brahma Bull and the former WWE Champion, The Rock. Oh, look at The Rock! Definitely showing his frustrations from the loss to CM Punk last night. Slaps Mark Henry in the face, and I don't think that's really the smartest decision The Rock can be making here. Especially coming off that grueling match last night. Oh, what a clothesline to Mark Henry right there by The Rock. But Henry, he keeps getting back up. And that's the challenge you face when you go up against a man like Mark Henry. There was a reason why he held the World Heavyweight Championship as long as he did. Is that he can take a lot of punishment. He's got high endurance levels. He's a very durable man. He can even, I mean, we saw in the match on Main Event a couple of weeks ago against John Cena. John Cena hit Mark Henry with just about everything in his, and still Mark Henry managed to score the win on that night. Even though last night at WrestleMania he may have been unsuccessful in the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, he was unable to recapture his title. But still, Mark Henry looked very impressive. And, you know, I gotta say, with that being a triple threat matchup, even though Henry did take the pinfall, I don't know. I still think Mark Henry looked pretty strong on the night, whereas opposed to The Rock, I mean, he really took a beating at the hands of CM Punk. It's a bit different in a triple threat matchup because the damage that gets done throughout that matchup is divided up through between the 3 superstars. Singles match, you know, it's divided up between only 2 participants. They really have to give it their all, especially when there's such a prestigious title as the WWE Championship on the line. Big power slam right there by Mark Henry. So both of these men obviously are going to be feeling the effects from WrestleMania. But the question is, who sustained more damage on the night? And who is going to be, you know, in better shape here for this matchup tonight? As we can see The Rock with a nice counter there to Mark Henry. But Henry, he counters side Russian leg sweep as he takes down the former People's Champion. And Mark Henry dragging Rock to the center of the ring. Obviously want to get Rock away from those ropes. Should Henry perhaps attempt a submission hold or go for a pinfall attempt? But look at The Rock. The Rock fighting back with a couple of strikes, punch and a kick. But once again, Henry shuts him down as soon as he tries to go for some sort of grapple move. Rock once again able to get back to his feet here, and a nice clothesline there. Somehow managed to drop the world's strongest man. Now delivers an elbow right to the heart of Mark Henry. But now as we can see, Mark Henry, he's got Rock over there into the corner. As it looks like he's going to toss him straight into that steel ring post, shoulder first. And Mark Henry, he's looking to induct The Rock into the Hall of Pain here tonight. But The Rock, he wants none of that, as he once again unloads on Mark Henry with a flurry of punches and chops. And now look at this, he's dropped Henry down to the bottom rope, and it just hangs him up there. On that bottom rope, just Mark Henry's throat snapping off that steel rope. And now look at this, spine. The Rock takes Mark Henry down with a spine buster cover. That could be it. 2 count? No, of course not. Mark Henry kicks out. But The Rock now, I think he could be thinking rock bottom. He's just waiting for Henry to get to his feet. And look at this. The Rock's got him. No, he doesn't. Mark Henry counters with a couple elbows to the head. And then that body shot. Now he tosses Rock over the top rope here. Things are not close. Oh, counter by The Rock. As he's still got some fight left in him. Delivers a nice strike right there. But now it's Henry with a counter. Delivers a nice knee lift to the gut. But Rock again with a counter. He's got Henry over there in the corner. Delivers a clothesline. But Henry back to his feet yet again. Back and forth the momentum goes between these two superstars. And Mark Henry, he's up on that second row. Oh, Rock, you got to get out of the way. Oh, Mark Henry. The weight, all the giant mass that is Mark Henry, just flattened The Rock right there. And now he's looking to finish it off. I think Rock might be done already. World's Strongest Slam. And Mark Henry not even bothering to hook the leg. Just, he's so confident he's got this match won here. 1, 2, 3, and yes, Mark Henry scores the win over The Rock here tonight. And I don't even know if Mark needed to go for that World's Strongest Slam. I mean, that splash off the second rope, I think that definitely would have put away any normal man. But no, Mark Henry, he felt the need to make sure that The Rock would stay down for the 3 count. And that's just what he did with that World's Strongest Slam. And finally, SmackDown is on the board. They're going to get their first draft pick here in this year's draft. But Mark Henry, you can see right there, he's still frustrated from WrestleMania. And, you know, he didn't even want the referee to raise his hand. Mark Henry, he wants to take this celebration himself. And that's a pretty big accomplishment. That's a good bounce back from the loss at WrestleMania. And not too many people currently in the wrestling industry can say that they hold a singles victory over The Rock. But Mark Henry, he can add that to his resume. But it's time to find out who will be SmackDown's first draft pick. Oh my God! CM Punk, the WWE Champion, is headed over to SmackDown, folks. Well, for a first pick on the night, that is huge. That is a game changer. SmackDown, it looked like, you know, they had a pretty rough start to the draft, losing the first 2 picks, but now they have both the World Heavyweight Champion and the WWE Champion on the same roster. Well, if SmackDown needed anything to change the momentum in their favor, that was just the pick they needed. But we've still got one more draft match here to go, as it's the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, representing SmackDown as he takes on 1/3 of the Shield in Dean Ambrose. And I gotta say, Sheamus, this would be a good opportunity for SmackDown to really, I mean, I wouldn't say CM Punk is really worth 2 draft picks, because Raw did get some really key picks, but they've now lost their champion, and this would just be, you know, Sheamus, if he can get the win here, I mean, there's still a possibility that Raw could perhaps draft Christian, maybe even draft CM Punk back to Raw. So, Sheamus, I mean, if he can just get the win over Ambrose here, at least for the time being, Sheamus, he can guarantee that SmackDown will have 2 world champions. And imagine the opportunities that would create for a guy like Sheamus, who has been in the World Heavyweight Championship division, kind of fell out of it for a little bit, but now he's trying to reignite the flame. He's trying to get himself back in contention. And, you know, now that Edge has lost, now that Edge has been drafted to Raw, Mark Henry, you know, he's already had his rematch clause, so he could very well be out of the picture. He's kind of, you know, we don't exactly know where he stands in contention. So Sheamus, this will be a good opportunity, because it's now going to divide up that division into 2 separate categories, the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's just going to provide a guy like Sheamus with even more opportunities to succeed. But Dean Ambrose now, he's got to carry Raw on his shoulders here, because Raw really needs, after that, they really need a draft pick. But the same goes for SmackDown. Just because they've got 2 world champions doesn't mean that their roster is, you know, up to par with that of Monday Night Raw. I mean, you just take a look. Raw's got guys like The Shield, Daniel Bryan. They now have Edge, Big Show they brought over to the brand, John Cena. I mean, the list goes on and on. Monday Night Raw has a very star-studded roster. And SmackDown, you know, they have their own superstars. But if Monday Night Raw just takes them all away, even if they have both world champions. Who's going to be left to challenge them? Who's going to be left of credibility, of a credible status to be able to challenge them? So, I don't know. I can't really figure out who's probably the more desperate brand at this point to really get the draft pick. But, you know, in terms of these two superstars, I mean, Sheamus, well, as we move on to a different topic, Sheamus, he did not compete last night at WrestleMania, whereas Dean Ambrose was in that grueling match against the Shield, or against the Wyatt family as a member of the Shield. And, of course, Dean Ambrose took a lot of punishment in that matchup. So, I have to say, advantage Sheamus here in this matchup. Not only in terms of fatigue, in terms of, you know, in-ring shape at the moment, but also, I mean, he's got the huge momentum behind him from that last draft pick. So he's got to be feeling confident. And Dean Ambrose, you know, now could be feeling the pressure. Whereas Sheamus, you know, I think Sheamus is going to be a bit more confident now that SmackDown just got that huge draft pick. And a victory over Dean Ambrose, that's no easy feat. Sheamus, he's in a submission hold right now. He's in trouble. Dean Ambrose could force Sheamus to tap out here. But no, Sheamus, he refused to tap out. Dean Ambrose had to no. That's why he broke the hold. Ambrose is going to try to go for the cover, try to wear Sheamus out, but Sheamus kicks out at 2.5. And now look at this. Sheamus back to his feet. Dean Ambrose went for a clothesline, but Sheamus blocked it. And now look at this powerbomb right into the mat. And here's Sheamus now. Oh, he was going for that axe handle clothesline, but Ambrose blocked it. Now another counter by Sheamus. These two exchange strikes here. Sheamus got him up on his shoulders and he plants him down. And now look at this, just driving the knee into the spine of Dean Ambrose. And just imagine, now that there's 2 world titles over on SmackDown, and Sheamus gets a win over Dean Ambrose, Sheamus could very well, you know, that's definitely going to be a good sort of thing to add to his resume and try to bump him up in the ranks in that world title division. But Dean Ambrose now could be thinking dirty deeds. He's waiting for Sheamus to get back to his feet. Dean Ambrose going for it, but no. Sheamus with a counter. Nice knee lift right to the gut. Counter by Ambrose now. Sheamus bounces off the ropes, but Sheamus belly-to-belly suplex, using his own momentum to his own favor as he just catapults Dean Ambrose halfway across the ring. And now Ambrose yet another counter. Look at this. Spinebuster by Dean Ambrose, planting Sheamus into the mat. But also at the same time, if you're competing in one of these draft matches... Oh, counter by Ambrose. I'll get back to that point in a little bit. Look at this. Wait a minute! Sheamus! Bro kick! What? Sheamus just kicked Dean Ambrose's head off, catapulted him into the air, and Dean Ambrose is dead. Dean Ambrose is dead. Good night, Ambrose. You're not going to see him for weeks. He's out cold. He's out like a light. And SmackDown gets yet another victory. As I was trying to say, you know, now that this works, Sheamus, at the same time, he bolsters SmackDown's roster with this next draft pick. But we don't know who it's going to be. Perhaps Sheamus has just made even more competition for himself in that world title division. So I guess, you know, it's sort of a double-edged sword when you win one of these matches. But the question is, who is going to be the next draft pick? SmackDown, I mean, after drafting the WWE Champion, I don't know how they can possibly follow that up. I mean, what left is there? I mean, I don't know, but let's just wait and see. SmackDown, second pick of the draft, looking to even things up here. Who's it gonna be? Oh my goodness! The powerhouse of the Shield, Roman Reigns, has just been drafted to SmackDown. And you can believe that. Oh wow. That's gonna put, you know, that's obviously gotta be on Dean Ambrose's mind now at this point. I mean, he was the one who lost that match, and now his tag team partner, Roman Reigns, is headed to SmackDown. What is this gonna mean for the Shield? This is a huge, I mean, this is what happens with the WWE Draft. The complexion of these shows are gonna change dramatically. And now Roman Reigns, he's going to SmackDown. The Shield's power has just been divided now. Roman Reigns headed to SmackDown. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose remain here on Raw to carry things out for the Shield. But now it's the Shield without Roman Reigns. It's not the same. So the question is now, is the Shield going to maintain their reign of dominance? Or, now that Roman Reigns has been brought over to SmackDown, what is that going to mean for the future of the Shield? Well, we can discuss that topic at a later point, because we've got Divas action yet again here tonight on Monday Night Raw, as it is Nikki Bella, the sister of the Divas champion Brie Bella, going one-on-one with the anti-diva Paige. And Paige has been riding a pretty hot streak as of late. I mean, ever since she debuted in the WWE, she has not lost a single match. She remains undefeated, and I'm sure Nikki Bella would take pride in knocking Paige down a peg and handing Paige her first loss. And also at the same time, I mean, really two women we've seen really burst onto the scene since they debuted at around similar times. Paige remains undefeated, but then also over on SmackDown, Tamina Snuka has also remained undefeated. She's looking mighty impressive as well. Imagine a confrontation between those two women. See, perhaps, maybe they both remain undefeated. That would be an interesting match to see. And at this point now, I mean, Summer Rae, she's just lost to Brie Bella twice in a row. Not counting the Elimination Chamber match. I mean, we take a look at WrestleMania and then the match earlier on tonight. So Summer Rae, I say she's basically been knocked out of championship contention. So it's a whole new ball game for some of these divas. It's now back to a level playing field. Every woman has the same opportunity to become the champ, or become the next challenger, I should say. So this is a huge matchup for both of these women here tonight, for Paige and for Nikki Bella. I mean, this is an opportunity to perhaps show the GM Paul Heyman, or show Triple H that they've got what it takes. They've got the stuff that it takes to be the next Divas champion, to headline the Divas division and prove that they are the best. As we would see now, Nikki Bella setting up Paige for a beautiful vertical suplex right there. Look at the height on that one. And this is where Nikki Bella, she differs a bit from her sister Brie. Brie is more of a speedy superstar. She likes to kind of fly around the ring a little bit. Nikki Bella, though, she's more of a powerhouse diva. And I was about to say Brie's more technical, but I would actually probably have to favor Nikki Bella in that department as well. I mean, she's got powerful moves in her arsenal, but Nikki Bella at the same time, she does have some pretty technical maneuvers. Like, talk about that rack attack, that she calls it, that torture rack into a backbreaker, or torture rack backbreaker, I guess would be. Page turner by Paige, as I'm distracting myself here. Covered by Paige. 2, 3, no! Nikki Bella just manages to kick out at the last second. But Paige, she wants to capitalize while Nikki Bella's down. She wants to put her away here. Maybe going rampage, but no. Counter by Nikki. Elbow to the face. But now Paige with a counter of her own backs Nikki off. Oh, and now she's got her. She's got her hooked for the rampage. Cradle DDT. Good night, Nikki Bella. Nobody gets up from that one. She may have kicked out of Paige Turner, but that's it. Paige can't capitalize, though. She may not have this match won. As you can see, this fight against Nikki Bella is really taking a lot out of her. Nikki now trying to crawl back to her feet. She has been given a lot of time to recover. She's had plenty of time now. So Paige, she's going to have to do more damage to keep Nikki down. She had Nikki beat, but she wasn't able to capitalize on it. Now she's going to go for the cover off the snap suplex. 2, kick out by Nikki. And now Nikki shows her resolve, how she manages to stay alive in this matchup. And after taking that devastating finisher from Paige, I'm amazed that Nikki made it back to her feet. And now Paige sends her off the ropes. Wait a minute, Nikki's got her. Small package. 2, 3, no! Kick out at the last second by Paige. I thought Paige's undefeated streak was going to go right there. I thought Nikki Bella had her with that inside cradle, small package. I'm pretty sure you can call it the same thing. Cover off the backbreaker. 2, 3, and that is it. Paige, she did most of the damage with the rampage. So she just kind of needed to get that, she needed one more little push to really send Nikki Bella over the edge. And that backbreaker, it was just the final blow, the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, I guess literally in this instance. I didn't even realize that would be a pun. But Paige now, she can celebrate as Nikki Bella, though. She doesn't seem too happy about it. Oh, wait a minute. Paige, she saw it coming, though. Counters and now delivers a flurry of strikes to the face and tosses Nikki Bella out over the top rope. Paige, she's still going strong, as not only does she defeat Nikki Bella, but she gets the last laugh and thwarts Nikki Bella's attempted attack there. And Paige stands tall. And now it is time for our main event for this episode, as it is a triple threat match featuring the new United States champion Cesaro in action as he takes on both the former United States champion Alberto Del Rio and R-Truth, one half of the tag team Awesome Truth alongside The Miz. And we have seen in the past few weeks that R-Truth has gotten himself involved with this whole Cesaro Del Rio affair. Cesaro did face off against R-Truth a couple of weeks ago, and Cesaro, of course, got the victory on that occasion. But at the same time, R-Truth, it seems like he and The Miz are both trying to get some recognition for their tag team, whether it's in tag team matches or in these singles matches. They're just trying to get their careers restarted, try to get them going, try to grab some sort of a foothold here on Monday Night Raw to try to get themselves in contention for either maybe the United States or WWE Championship, one of the singles titles, or if they're trying to go for the tag team titles. I mean, they both have sort of mutual goals. They both want to try to regain relevancy here, or in R-Truth's case, almost, just gain, not regain. I don't know what I'm even saying. I've lost my train of thought. What I meant to say was trying to regain momentum and then maintain momentum to keep a spot in, a consistent spot on the roster on these shows, because lately, we take a look at guys like Del Rio and Cesaro. They've been regular features on the program due to their battle over the United States Championship, but then we have somebody like R-Truth who just kind of, one week he's here, another week he'll be off, or he'll be on main event or something and not on Raw. And really, this is the show you want to be on. You want to be on Monday Night Raw, because this is where all the action happens. You're a part of the Raw roster, so you want to compete on the Raw show. But anyway, that's enough about that. So we can see right now, this is a triple threat matchup. So as I've discussed in plenty of videos before, even so much as WrestleMania, where there was the World Heavyweight Triple Threat match, this match is going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of action to cover here, and you always got to have eyes in the back of your head in this kind of a matchup. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to walk out the winner. As we can see right now, it looks like Cesaro is on the receiving end of a double team from Del Rio and Truth here. Cesaro trying to fight back, though. Hit Del Rio with a jawbreaker there, but Del Rio counters. And going right after the leg now, as he's got Cesaro countered by Del Rio into another jawbreaker. And as you can see, Cesaro really is being focused in on by these two men, by Truth and Del Rio. What a slam, what a face buster there from R-Truth. As Del Rio, he does have a rematch clause for the United States Championship, which he will be cashing in at Extreme Rules. That's right, it's going to be Del Rio versus Cesaro at Extreme Rules for the United States Championship. Although this time, Cesaro's going to go in as the champion instead of the challenger. So hopefully for Cesaro's sake, he'll be able to retain the title. But I mean, looking at this right now, R-Truth has got the steel steps, just really a vicious beatdown on Cesaro here. This is more like a handicap match. It's 2-on-1. Cesaro is trying to fight off Truth and Del Rio. But ultimately, I mean, it's 2-on-1. Cesaro, how much longer is he going to be able to keep that up? And now Del Rio with the enziguri to the side of the head. Catches Cesaro flush. And now Truth was trying to go after Del Rio, but Del Rio didn't take too kindly to that. And now Del Rio, he's going after R-Truth now, as their temporary alliance seems to have failed. As that's what happens. You can have temporary alliances in a triple threat match, but ultimately it's every man for himself. Look at Del Rio now, looking to capitalize while Truth is on the outside. Cross arm breaker locked in. And he's got it heavily applied on Cesaro here. Although R-Truth was in there, he was able to break it up. Able to get in time to break up that submission hold. And now look at R-Truth. Oh, a nice... I don't even know what that move is called. It's almost... was it called a Saito suplex? I don't remember if that was what the move was exactly, but I do know what that one is. Truth and Consequences right there by R-Truth. It was like a suplex stunner. But Cesaro, he was there. He was right there to break up the pinfall, and that's what happens. You gotta take out that third man, otherwise you're not gonna walk out as the winner here. And now look at Cesaro picking up Truth for a nice snap suplex there. As Del Rio now, he's on the outside. He's trying to catch a breather. After that big maneuver from R-Truth, Del Rio really needs to catch his breath, try to come up with a game plan. Or perhaps he's just simply stepping back and watching as Cesaro and Truth tear each other apart. Nice double foot stomp there from Cesaro. But maybe Del Rio's just kind of stepping back just to watch as those two do all the damage, and then he'll come in and try to pick up the scraps, pick up the pieces. As you can see, yeah, he really is not looking too hasty to get into the action. He's just sort of hanging back, watching as the action unfolds. Cesaro with the Northern Light suplex, and we've seen this before. He's going to pick Truth up into a brain buster right there. But Del Rio with a DDT, spiking Cesaro's face into the mat. And now Del Rio, he's going to look for the cover. He's going to try to finish it off there. 1, 2. No, Cesaro kicks out of 2. So Del Rio, he tried to play the vulture, tried to just come in when he had the opportunity, but Cesaro kicked out. Del Rio's unsuccessful. Cesaro was thinking a little Jimmy there. But Cesaro countered with a drop toe hold. Did I say Cesaro? I meant Truth. And now Cesaro, he's just waiting for Truth to get to his feet. Look at this. Cesaro, he's got Truth up for the neutralizer right there. He could have Truth down. He could have him beat here. But look at Del Rio once again. This time tossing Cesaro out of the ring. Hooks the leg on Truth. 2, 3, and Del Rio has picked up the victory here tonight in this triple threat matchup. He allowed Cesaro to do the damage, and then he just snuck in at the last second to capitalize with the neutralizer. Not the neutralizer, what am I even saying? To capitalize with the... I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just losing my mind at this point. Such a hectic WWE draft this has been. This has been a huge episode for Universe Mode. I can't even make proper commentary now for the end of it. As you can see right there, bam, neutralizer from Cesaro. And Del Rio, all he had to do was toss Cesaro out of the ring after the damage Cesaro had taken, and then just get the pinfall on R-Truth. And that was all. That's all you really have to do in a triple threat match. But that is it for this episode. I want to thank y'all for watching the first part of the WWE Draft. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Universe Mode. And then, of course, episode 44 will be the second part of the WWE Draft. Thank you for watching. Keep on YouTubing.